Cruise news time. And look, you better hold on to your hats for this one. I told you recently about the cruise ship that messed up a rocket launch, that caused a rocket launch to scrub. Well, how about this? How about a foreign flagged cruise ship potentially putting at risk U.S. national security? What? Holy moly. We've got that and a whole lot of cruise news. Cruise news. Let's talk about it. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Lido, Loca. I'm your host, Tony, here with the latest cruise news updates, and we got a pile of them today. I've got several cruise news stories, but first and foremost, welcome back to the show. It is Tuesday. It is the 8th of February, 2022, and just a few short days from our next cruise, Jenny and I will be embarking on the Sky Princess this weekend. I'm so excited about it. There's so much I have to do. A couple quick updates from the show yesterday, the Disney review. I said it kind of quick. I was a little hyper in the review yesterday. I said I have a short list of celebrities that I'm going to be bummed out when they pass away. And that list really contained three people, Stan Lee, Leonard Cohen, and Bob Dylan. Sadly, two of the people on that list have passed away, and I was sad. The list was accurate. Bob Dylan has not passed away, so maybe the way I said it, people were confused, but I did see some comments like, Bob, yes, I know Bob is fine, but he's still on my list of people that I will be sad when they pass away. But yeah, that's a quick update there. And thanks everybody for the positive feedback on the Disney review. I'm glad I went on that cruise. I'm glad I've had that experience. I'm glad I can speak about it. And I'm glad you guys are enjoying the review. All right, now let's jump into today's cruise news. Look, I'm going to give you some feel-good, some warm-up stories until we jump into the big one at the end, the potential risk of national security. And really, when I get to that story, I want to know, is this a legit thing? Is it a principled thing? Is it a practical thing? Wait till you hear the story. But first and foremost, let's talk about Cunard. They have a fourth cruise ship coming to their fleet. I think this is like the 249th cruise ship that they've had in their fleet, just a rotating fleet of cruise ships. But now they're bringing a fourth cruise ship to bear, and it's going to be called the Queen Anne. How about that? And now as I'm listening to myself talk, I think it's pronounced Cunard. Cunard. So many of these words, they're said so many different ways. Cunard. Queen Anne will be joining the Queen Mary II, the Queen Victoria, and the Queen Elizabeth cruise ships in the Cunard fleet. I've never been on Cunard. It's on the list. And that's a question I wanted to ask you guys real quick. If you want to go ahead and drop a comment, what cruise line should we try next? The short list for 2022, definitely Holland America Line, Virgin Voyages. I'd love to step up and try something like a Silver Seas. I'm going to be talking about Hurtigruten later. I would like to try that. But of the cruise lines that we have not tried, and we've tried Disney, Royal, Carnival, Norwegian, MSC, Princess, and Celebrity, which cruise line should we try next? Leave a comment below. But yeah, congratulations, Cunard, for expanding your fleet by 25%. Cruise news story number 2, also a story about a cruise line expanding their fleet. And this time we're talking about Celebrity, and we're talking about the brand new cruise ship, Celebrity Beyond. Celebrity Beyond, a pretty cool cruise ship because it is being brought into existence from soup to nuts by Captain Kate McHugh. She's overseeing the bringing forth of the Beyond all the way from its beginning, and it had a big milestone yesterday. It did its sea trials. It left the shipyard, it went out, did the sea trials. They run through a whole checklist of things to make sure that the ship is seaworthy, and once it passes its sea trials, it returns to the shipyard for final spiffing up. I think that's a technical term in shipbuilding, spiffing up. That's probably not the term. But yes, that happened, and that's exciting. We're supposed to be on Celebrity Beyond in the summertime in Greece. Right now, Jenny and I are really thinking we don't want to go on that cruise because we don't think we're going to be physically fit enough to do Greece. But the challenge is, we told our friend Don that we would go. Now, he's going either way, but we can't figure out a good way to maybe break the news to him that we may not go. So don't say anything, because I still need to talk to Don face to face, and I haven't had this conversation. So that would be super awkward if he knew that we had this conversation, you and us together. So shh, don't say nothing. I don't know. I don't think we'll be ready to go walk around Greece. So we're doing well with our weight loss journey, but I don't think we'll be there. Yeah. Anyways, congratulations, Captain Kate and the celebrity business for getting the Beyond Through the Sea trials. Cruise news story number 3. Let's talk about our favorite Norwegian cruise line. Not Norwegian Cruise Line, which was probably our favorite. No, the cruise line from Norway is what I'm trying to say. Hurtigruten. They do coastal cruising around Norway. They do a ferry business, but they also have expedition cruising, where they take you all over the places where you can expedite and see penguins. This is my whole conception of expedite. They're doing pole to pole cruises, and this looks pretty dang cool. They have 3 ships that are going to be doing pole to pole cruises. They're going to be doing 94 days on the Roald Amundsen expedition cruise ship, 93 days on the Fridtjof Nansen, butchered that, and then 66 days on the MS Fram. These cruises look really cool, but they are really expensive. How much do you suspect that 94 days on an expedition cruise ship that's going all the way from the North to the South Pole with stops in North America and in South America, how much would you expect this to cost you? Well, they're starting at $57,000 for the cruise on the Roald Amundsen. It sounds very interesting to me. Maybe sometime in my life I will partake in this, but I gotta share the funniest thing that I've seen today. Go to Hurtigruten's website and go to this expedition cruising and check out these pole-to-pole cruises and just click into one of them. We'll click into the Roald Amundsen. It's got the cool picture of the whale. It tells you the cost, $57,714. But take a second, look closer, look right below the cost number. It says breakfast, lunch, and dinner included. They have to tell you that? Like, if you spend $57,000, don't you think that your meals... Hey, Jenny, cancel that big order for Ziploc bags. They're including breakfast, dinner, and lunch. Like, were you going to have to pack a lunch for 97 days? I mean, I guess the idea is that you don't have to pay for it when you're out and about. But still, that's funny that that's such a highlight under the price. $57,000 and you get lunch. How about that? I would do one of these cruises. Would you do one of these cruises? This looks pretty exciting to me. Leave a comment below. All right, let's lay down some of this fun and frivolity let's get serious. And we got to talk about the potential risk to national security posed by a foreign flagged cruise ship that just recently happened here in the state of Florida. But first, let me quickly invite you to subscribe if you like staying up to date with everything that's going on in cruising. Please consider subscribing with the notification bell on. That way you don't miss out on any of these episodes. Have you heard about the real big dream that we got? We are trying to get to 1 million subscribers. It would be very cool to see a YouTube channel in the cruising niche make it to 1 million subscribers. We're a pretty good distance away. Gary Bembridge, Tips for Travelers, probably the closest. Jim Zim, the cruise vlogger, train guy, even closer. But nobody's even at 500,000 yet. So look, that's the appeal. It's a vanity metric. I'd really more excited when you watch the show than subscribe. But yeah, please consider subscribing. Get us to 1 million. Live the big dream with us. Thank you in advance. All right, here's how it went down in Funky Town. Over the last weekend, 3 big cruise ships went to Key West, Florida, and one of the cruise ships, the Celebrity Apex, parked, and the tail end of that cruise ship encroached into protected Navy waters. Here's a picture. These white pylons here, the bollards, B-O-L-L-A-R-D, they are indicative of the boundary line. The cruise ship should be on the right of those bollards, and the protected water for the Navy is on the left. And as you can see, the stern of the Celebrity Apex is hanging over the line. Now, the group down there in Key West, Safer, Cleaner Ships, the group that's really not that into cruising, the group that has wanted to limit which cruise ships could go to Key West, well, they noticed this encroachment, infringement, this over-the-lineness. Well, they put out a statement saying that this was a potential impairment of national security interest. as the ship was crossing into U.S. Navy submerged lands. That was their hot take, that this parking outside the lines was potentially a national security threat. A spokesman for the Naval Air Station Key West was less sensational in his take on the matter, saying, "We are aware that the Celebrity Apex cruise ship moored Sunday in an area in violation of the submerged land lease and partially obstructed the entrance to the NAS Key West Truman Harbor. We're going through our formal process to notify Florida Department of Environmental Protection to take actions to enforce the terms of the lease." So you can tell from that statement that this is obviously a no-no, and that's the conversation that I want to have. I'm certainly not trying to make light of national security or anything like that, but yes, do you think this is a principled thing, or do you think this is a practical thing? Do you think that enough of that cruise ship is hanging over the line that it does jeopardize activity in the protected naval harbor, or do you think it's a principled thing, like you should not cross the line, and you did cross the line, and therefore we got to say something about it? Practical? Is it principled? Is it both? Again, it will be interesting to see what comes up out of this, and it's always interesting to see all the takes on this. What do you think? Looking at this in our layman eyes, we don't know. Does this feel like a potential risk to national security, or is this something else? Leave a comment below. Boom, that's your cruise news. Your turn to sound off on any and all things that we talked about in the show today. And what were you most excited to hear? Were you most excited to hear that Bob Dylan was still alive? That's right. The answer, my friends, is still blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. Thank you so much for checking out the show today. I hope you're having a fantastic Tuesday live show tonight. We'll be talking more about Disney cruising. Look, one thing left to do. You got to hit the like button. If you fail to do that, I'll be forced to punish you, and your punishment is you're going to have to drive down to Key West. You're going to have to go out to where all those white bollards are. You're going to have to take an airbrush and stencil in the Cunard logo, and then when they get mad at you for doing that, you're going to have to paint them all white again. That's a lot of work. You can easily just hit the like button. It's Tony for Lido. Until the next time, see you on the Lido.